Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Monday, September 14th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. We have a lot of big announcements to go over. In today's video, we're first going to go over how on Sunday, economist and advisor to President Trump, Stephen Moore, called out House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to get a deal done as soon as possible amid a stalemate that is currently going on the second stimulus package. Then we're going to go over how House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the House of Representatives are officially back from their August recess today. So this is huge news because now they can maybe start to progress on the second stimulus package, and we're going to go over exactly what they are planning on doing this week. And finally, yesterday, Sunday, on CNN's State of the Union, House Representative Val Demings criticized the Republican-backed stimulus bill that was voted on last week, and she said right now we need to try to pass a meaningful bill now that they are back from their August recess. Today, she says they need to try to get a meaningful bill passed that actually addresses the needs of Americans and is a large enough package. So we're going to go over all of that and more in today's video. But before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free to do so, and it currently says about 50% of you watching are not subscribed. So if you like the latest updates on what is going on with the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news and finance updates, well, then please be sure to subscribe. Don't forget, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app. So on Sunday, economist and White House advisor to President Trump, Stephen Moore, called on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to get a deal done on the second stimulus package amid a stalemate that is currently going on the second stimulus package. He said, "Come on, Nancy, come on, Chuck Schumer, come together for the good of the country, get a deal done now. What is holding things up? I think it's pure politics at this point," and he thinks it's only about the election in November. That is the only reason why they're currently holding up a second stimulus package. Moore's comments come as Republican senators declared the 5th virus relief bill dead on Thursday after Democrats rejected the roughly $500 billion GOP bill. Moore said that despite the lack of virus relief in recent months, the good news is that even without the stimulus plan being passed recently, which has held up for now 8 weeks, the economy is on a great roll right now. He said we've had 4 straight months of 1.5 million or more jobs created in the economy. So the Labor Department reported Thursday that weekly claims for unemployment were 884,000 claims for 2 weeks ago, which ultimately is still bad news for the U.S. economy as the country continues to suffer from high rates of unemployment and jobless claims. Moore suggested that because Democrats were unwilling to budge on their stance and on their total price tag of the next stimulus package, they simply did not want to help the economy, and their actions are showing that they don't want to help the American people. He explained how that's a cynical thing to think, but when he saw the actions of Nancy Pelosi last week saying no to everything that Republicans were proposing, even though they had already agreed on these aspects, he said it showed him that she really didn't want to help the economy right now, and that Nancy Pelosi simply is more worried about the election in November. Ultimately, he said, though, that Trump isn't going to waste $2.2 trillion on a package right now, stating that the president recognizes that a bad deal on a stimulus bill is worse than no deal at all, because eventually they will agree on a better stimulus package, but both sides don't want to agree on what they think is a bad deal right now. Moving on, Sunday on CNN's State of the Union, Representative Val Demings criticized the Republican-backed virus stimulus bill after Senate Democrats blocked the GOP legislation amid a stalemate between parties. She said, "We need to pass a meaningful bill now, and if the GOP is interested in helping American families, the HEROES Act has already passed the House and it's just sitting right there." She said it's ready to be passed in the Senate. All they need to do is vote on it. CNN's Jake Tapper, he asked Demings if it is better to compromise on a bill to give Americans some form of relief with a smaller bill, noting that Democrats only control the House, not the Senate or the White House. He said, "Isn't something better than nothing right now? Don't we need to get the American people help right now?" And ultimately she responded by saying that the American people deserve more than the crumbs from the table, adding that Democratic leadership have been negotiating on a bigger bill for weeks now. And she goes on to say that there's been movement from the Democrat side. They've come down from a over $3 trillion deal to now a $2.2 trillion price tag. But she says that Republicans, quite frankly, have been ridiculous in their negotiations and they're not willing to increase their price tag for the bill. She explained how it must be nice to not know the feeling of having to struggle to make ends meet. She explained millions of Americans are struggling right now, while people in Congress and Republicans are simply sitting there not passing a bill and not worrying about what is happening to the tens of millions of Americans in the U.S. who are struggling to pay their bills right now. She ultimately said, though, that Democrats will continue to push a relief package that is meaningful for these families that are struggling right now up until the election and until they get a bill passed. And finally, big news from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, because she is welcoming back the House of Representatives today on Monday, back from their August recess, and this could help reignite stimulus negotiations. Republicans and Democrats both have been testing a risky strategy of not passing a second stimulus bill as we're getting very close to the election, leaving millions of Americans without any form of income right now. And the main issue is that soon lawmakers are going to be returning home to start their campaign trails for the elections coming up. And with many lawmakers up for tough re-election campaigns, many people in Congress believe this will pressure lawmakers into a deal before the election, that this will pressure them to come back to the table, agree on more stimulus before the election, because a lot of people in the U.S. are going to vote based on what is happening with stimulus. If people don't get stimulus, they're not going to want to vote these people back in because they're going to think, well, they didn't help me when I needed to get a stimulus check and wanted stimulus money. So this could motivate them and pressure them to come back sooner. Representative Gerald Connolly of Virginia said, "There is a concern with the caucus and the Democrats right now that we acted on this 4 months ago and the currency of that bill is fading away." He explained how we can't just go home on our campaign trails and talk about something that passed way back in May because all of that money has already expired. At this point, it doesn't really help anyone. And Democrats explained how they do have opportunities to pick up seats outside of St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and Omaha, and these metro areas have historically been Republican and voted Republican. So ultimately, in order to get these positions, they explained how they might need to get back to Congress, get a stimulus bill passed to gain more support in these areas. A lot of them are very worried about the election, and if that's going to motivate them to pass more stimulus before the November elections, well then this could be a very good sign now that they're back in Congress from their August recess officially today. Both the Senate and the House are officially back, and with the November elections coming up, a lot of lawmakers believe that this will pressure them into a deal even sooner with direct stimulus checks in it, because that is what the people care about the most. So anyways, that is just a quick update on the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Monday, September 14th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.